A very simple yet often overlooked part of the agreement of purchase and sale is the closing date. Different situations call for different considerations, so in today's video I want to go over a few common situations and provide some suggestions as to when people might want to consider taking possession of their new home. The first tip is for everyone, regardless of what you're moving from or into, and my suggestion would be that you try not to close on a Monday or a Friday. If for whatever reason things kind of go a bit awry or a bit funky in the days leading up to closing, or perhaps on the day of, you want to make sure that you've got some business days kind of built in to possibly get lawyers and lenders involved if needed. And those two very important cogs of the closing wheel, if you will, don't operate on the weekend or on holidays. The next suggestion I have as to when you should choose your closing date is to make sure that you've given your lawyer and your lender enough time to close the deal. The real estate lawyer that I like to work with typically needs about a 2-week window in order to kind of make things happen, provided that they receive mortgage instructions from the bank or from the lender. So if you're paying cash for a place, then you're likely fine. But if you're getting a loan, which is most people, then you want to check with your mortgage broker or your bank contact with your lender to ensure that enough time has been given so that you can get those mortgage instructions to your lawyer. My suggestion is, at minimum, you should give at least a 3-week period. But again, you want to double check with your lawyer and your lender. Next, if you are a renter who's considering becoming a purchaser, you will want to remember that you need to give 60 days notice to vacate to your landlord, and that notice needs to coincide with when you typically pay rent. So for example, if you pay on the 1st, then your last day technically is supposed to be either the 30th or the 31st, unless it's February that you want to leave, or if you pay mid-month. So for closing, the suggestion that I would make is that you overlap your rental and your new purchase by at least a few days, if not longer, if possible. So assuming that you're moving out of your rental, let's say on November 30th, then you may want to close on the purchase by November 28th, or maybe even sooner. Give yourself some time to clean the new place before you move in, clean the old place as you vacate. Maybe you need to do a few trips between the two, back and forth. Do whatever you can to make sure that you reduce the amount of stress that normally comes with moving. If you need to sell your home and you're planning on buying another one, for the love of Pete, do not make the closing day of your sale and the closing day of your purchase the same day. There are just too many balls in the air. And what if a nightmare scenario happens where everything is progressing very nicely leading up to closing on the place that you need to move out of, but things get delayed on the place that you need to move into? You gotta think, what are you gonna do with all of your stuff for a day or two or whatever it takes? It's not a fun situation to be in. Speak to your mortgage broker or lender, but it's likely that you'd be able to get something called bridge financing, which would allow you to be owner of 2 places at the same time, as long as it's for a small window. It's a small price to pay that will give you the peace of mind that should anything really bad happen, it'll give you the flexibility where you don't necessarily have to be without a home for a short period of time. Lastly, with the holidays coming up, you want to be mindful of not closing too close to a time where offices of lawyers and banks are either closed or understaffed. This might make closing an issue due to the lack of availability of certain professionals who are needed. And besides, the holidays are often a stressful time as it is, and I wouldn't recommend adding moving and closing to the mix. I'm Jamie Harnish, Toronto Real Estate Navigator with Bosley Real Estate. I want to thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you again. Take care.